Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching. It is Saturday, the 14th of September. And we've some wet and very windy weather ahead during the course of Sunday. Although looking at this chart, you wouldn't think so, would you? This is the frontal chart for today, Saturday. And you notice here the front that's just cleared away from the southeast, taking rain with it. But still a nippy day across southeastern parts of England. For most other areas, it's not too bad, actually. We've got some sunny spells around. Looks like that is going to be lasting right the way through the course of today as that ridge of high pressure, you can see out towards the west here, builds through. However, no sign on there at all of the tempest that's to come, because by the time we get through to midday on Sunday, this has happened. Deep area of low pressure north of Scotland, pushing these fronts eastwards through the country. Look how close together the isobars are, indicating gales, I think, for many areas. Now, there'll be some outbreaks of rain as well, and it looks as if the rain is probably going to be moving into Scotland during the early hours of this morning. It'll spill through into Northern Ireland during the early hours, as I say, of Sunday morning, Moves into northern parts of England, I think, by the time we're getting through towards around 6 o'clock in the morning, and into northern parts of Wales around that time too. Heaviest of the rain you can see though across western parts of Scotland here. Most southeastern areas probably staying dry until Sunday afternoon, when this front sweeps its way east. I think what we are going to be finding, though, is brighter weather moving into northern western Scotland and also into Ireland during the course of the afternoon. Pretty quickly, and actually not too bad there, but there will be some very, very rough seas to come during the course of tomorrow afternoon. But let's just trace those gales. This is the position as of 1 o'clock on Sunday morning, and these are gusts, so these are mean gust winds from the GFS model, and you can see there that the yellow colours, which are starting to get into gale force, are sort of northern western Scotland, Western Ireland. By 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, gale force gusts have moved into northwestern parts of England, the very northwest of Wales through Ireland. And you can see, look, here we've got gusts of wind of well over 55 miles an hour on the way to 60 miles an hour, and wouldn't be surprised to see some 70 mile an hour gusts across exposed parts of Scotland. The wind's starting to increase further south, but generally still very light. However, it's during the morning that the strongest winds will be moving through most of the country. Here's the gusts, look, moving their way southeastwards. You see there that by the time we get through to 1 o'clock, we've got parts of East Anglia, or the Midlands, southeast England, seeing gale force gusts. And these winds gusting again up to over 50 miles an hour, possibly touching 60 miles an hour across western coast and across eastern coast, as well as into the west of Scotland and the west of Ireland. And then by 7 o'clock on the evening on Sunday, it looks as if those gales will have spread their way really through all areas, just easing a little bit through the Midlands and parts of Wales as they clear through. But for many, you can see they're still getting gale force gusts, always strongest around the coasts. So some really rough conditions to come during the course of Sunday as that front and the area of low pressure moves in. Then we get into Monday, and this is the chart for Monday. Low pressure again north of Scotland, you notice there. I think what's going to happen is the front that you can see there is going to be bringing further outbreaks of rain across northern Scotland during the course of Monday, although a bit hit and miss as to exactly where this is going to be. For my money at the moment, I think it's going to be kind of within that sort of area that we see the most persistent of the rain and also showers. Now, I think there'll be very heavy showers moving into northwest England, northern and western parts of Wales as well. Elsewhere, though, it's sunny spells and more scattered showers. Some places not seeing rainfall at all during the day. Highest chance of that, I'd say, at about 80% across East Anglia, southeast England. I think probably 70% across the Midlands, but much lower once you get further west. I think here only a 10% chance of catching a dry day on Monday. Certainly feeling cooler for all too, and windy again with gales in the north and west. On to Tuesday, and low pressure, look, is still around during the course of Tuesday, stationed to the north of Scotland, more rain to come there. And it also looks as if we'll find another area of rain moving in on a small area of low pressure through Wales, southwest England during the course of Tuesday morning. I think what then happens is that transfers itself across southern counties of England during Tuesday afternoon. Probably this is about the northern line of that rain. Could be heavy at times. We could be looking at perhaps 10 millimetres plus across southern areas. Further north though, it's sunny spells, it's showers, most of the showers to the north and the west, just scattered further east. And a windy day, the wind really rattling through northern Scotland again with more gales there, but lighter winds further south. On to Wednesday, and little change really. I think the winds probably ease during the course of Wednesday, probably less in the way of showers. Most of them northern and western parts of Scotland, perhaps the far northwest of England, and also Northern Ireland. So that sort of area there, seeing most of the showers. I think further south, one or two showers, perhaps just blowing through southern England, but generally we've got a case of a fairly cloudy day, some broken cloud around, some sunny spells around, best of it over eastern parts of England, but a dry day probably overall. And then on to Thursday. Well, during the night on Wednesday into Thursday, another area of low pressure will be slipping its way into western parts of Scotland. That moving its way quickly eastwards, bringing further periods of rain through Scotland and through the north and the west of Ireland. I think more southern areas tending to stay drier across southern and eastern England with some sunny spells there, but windy as you can see. I think again we could be seeing gale force gusts here, and probably some drizzle affecting these western coasts of Wales during the course of Thursday. So plenty of weather going on. Now, don't forget, we get free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen. It's when you come back and use the site and use the adverts that generates the revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thanks for doing that. So whatever you're doing today, have a great day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.